Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and we're here at SHOT Show 2011 in Las Vegas, and we have Ron here from Surefire. He's going to show us some new lights that they have out. I'll turn it over to him.
Alright everybody, Surefire is always pushing the envelope on everything it does, but illumination tools are our specialty. So starting from the simplest and going up to the most high-tech here. In terms of handheld illumination, lots of new stuff this year. Everything from just simple upgrades to brand new products. So starting over here on my left is our G2X Tactical. The G2X Tactical means a momentary tail cap switch. Push for momentary on of 200 lumens, twist for constant on, or twist the opposite direction for the tail cap lockout. It's got a nitrilon polymer body, the same as our G2 series. However, this one also has an aluminum bezel like our G2L series. Brand new LED emitter inside gets you 200 lumens for about 2.5 hours total runtime on 2 of our 123A batteries. Moving on, this is the Invictus. This one's been done over and over and over and upgraded without ever coming out. So now we've put everything, including the kitchen sink, into it. It has our new total internal refraction lens. So the TIR lens allows you to gather all the light emitted by the LED and point it into the direction predetermined by the geometric shape of that lens. Basically what that means, it throws a very, very long distance. There's 11 settings on it, which include a strobe and an SOS feature. Also has an off selection if you don't want to risk turning it on at any time. It's got a 2-stage push-through tactical tail cap, meaning push halfway for on the low setting, then push all the way for the high. There's a built-in fuel gauge which tells you when the battery is good, low, or you need to get ready to replace it. Right here is a new light in Surefire's rechargeable line. We haven't done much for about 5 or 6 years with rechargeables, and this is the new Commander. We released the Commander about 10 years ago. It was an incandescent model. It had a rechargeable 9CAD battery. This one here is a rechargeable lithium-ion battery with a new proprietary LED. Also features a custom total internal reflection lens. Has a barrel plug for recharging. Just plug it into the wall or plug it into your cigarette lighter adapter. It has a fuel gauge like I showed you on the Invictus. Has an 8 setting selector ring on it, which also includes a strobe model. A similar tail cap to the Invictus in terms of the momentary feature where you press down, you press halfway for low and all the way for high. However, a cool new feature that we have on these rechargeables it's a new 4-way push button switch, meaning instead of twisting for constant on, I simply push to the side as a toggle. I can either push back to the side to disable, or I can push down, and it gets me back to the momentary setting. A brand new proprietary switch from Surefire to go with the proprietary LED and a proprietary lithium-ion battery. When I say proprietary lithium-ion battery, because if that rechargeable battery dies, it comes with a cradle where you just pop in 2 of our disposable 123A batteries to keep going. Then you can recharge at a later time.
Can you show us the different modes real quick?
Sure. Starting on the selector ring, strobe is at one end of the spectrum, then it cycles through high, and it gets down to the off setting.
Same thing on the big guy?
Yeah. So on the Invictus here, as we cycle through from strobe, and then we step down through the settings as well. Here is the new Dominator. We had the 10X Dominator also about 10 years back. It was the first 2-stage incandescent light. There were 2 separate light bulbs, one 60 lumens, one 500 lumens. You would push halfway down to activate the low output bulb, then you'd press all the way to activate the 500 lumen bulb. Had a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, our first and only flashlight that had a lithium-ion battery. However, the switching and the battery system at that time was somewhat crude. Now we have, instead of an incandescent, instead of 2 bulbs, we have a single high output LED. This right here is the most powerful LED in the world. It's a 2000 lumen single die LED. It's placed on a microprocessor with a whole lot of electronics going inside straight to the switching, which will be on the bezel. We don't put the switching on the tail cap because it's somewhat impractical to have a thumb mounted switch on a light this big. So it's a little bit more convenient just to have it on the bezel, which is also near the selector ring. As we saw here on the Commander and here on the Invictus, you twist through the cycle to get to your different settings. So let's check out how this Dune Dominator works. We have a selector ring here that goes through 8 different settings. Your button over here is your constant on for that selector ring, strobe at one end, all the way down to low output setting. In the middle you have your momentary on, and on the end you have a constant on, which always comes on the high output. Also a custom lithium-ion rechargeable battery. However, similar to the cradle you'll see in our M6, and somewhat of an offshoot of the cradle you'll see we have for the smaller rechargeables, is a larger one that accepts 12 disposable 1238 batteries if you need them in a pinch. This is the new bad boy of handheld illumination tools. Something to get out of your hands and on your head so that you can work more efficiently in the dark should you require the use of both hands are Surefire's new headlamps. This here is the Maximus. It's a 500 lumen rechargeable headlamp. The functions are similar to our others. You have a potentiometer on the side that controls your output from 0 up to 500 lumens. Has a rechargeable port underneath for plugging into the wall, the same as the flashlights. And it has a fuel gauge, also like rechargeable flashlights, to give you a heads up if your battery's good, if it's getting low, or if it's time to recharge. Next to the Maximus, we have the Saint Minimus AA version. So our Saint had a battery pack that was dual fuel capable that ran on either 1, 2, or 3 123A batteries. Say that 3 times fast. Or it ran on 2 AA batteries. This one, we've removed the battery pack and put it up front for just 2 AA batteries. You would pop off the back, dump the batteries as needed, close it up, has a nice comfortable breather-free pad on the inside like the other headlamps, and runs to the electronics of the Minimus body. Something else that's new is the design. Instead of a fluted body like the previous generation of Minimus, we have a knurled texture which is easier to grab with cold hands, wet fingers, or gloves. Also, they will all now ship with a red filter that simply clips on the front. Optional filters may become available later in the year.
Is that going to be all of the Saint models?
Correct. All headlamps in the Saint series will come with a red filter, and the Tactical model will come with a red, blue, and green.
Can you turn it on for us? The same kind of switching as the existing Saint lights.
That's correct. Like all the other Saint lights, it will run off a potentiometer, and that's actually been fine-tuned, so it comes on at under 1 lumen and cycles all the way up to 100.
Very cool. Well, Ron, we appreciate it. Thank you for giving us some time today.
Thank you, everybody, and make sure you go to Going Gear to get the best stuff.